Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Fine.
I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Call the roll, please.
Mayor Bailey,
Here.
Mr. Bateman,
Here.
Mr. Goodyear,
Here.
Mr. Hart, Mr. Ori,
Here.
Vice Mayor Phelps,
Here.
Mr. Ping.
Here.
Note that Vice Mayor is present via Zoom, and can we have a motion to excuse Councilmember Hart?
So moved.
Thank you. Is there a second? Call the roll, please.
Mr. Bateman,
Yes.
Mr. Goodyear,
Yes.
Mr. Ori,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Phelps,
Yes.
Mr. Ping,
Yes.
Mayor Bailey.
Yes.
Motion carries 6-0.
Unfortunately, for the second meeting in a row, I have to mention a prominent member of our community that passed away. I'm sure everybody has heard that Dave Miller passed away in the last few weeks. It'd be hard-pressed to find an event in this city or in the school that Dave wasn't present at, and certainly his passion for this city was unparalleled. So keep his family in your thoughts and prayers if you would. All right, open forum. Adam Jaranek.
Madam Mayor, Council, Loveland. My name is Adam Jaranek. I live at 709 Quailwoods Drive, fantastic subdivision of Pheasant Hills. I'm your neighborhood president there. In these past 3 weeks, a few neighbors have talked to me about how pleased they are about our public works department because of we've had a few water main breaks and how fast they have come out. I've talked to Dave and Chris Weinich about how fast everything's happened, and we couldn't be more pleased. I just want to give a shout out. Thank you very much.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, next on the agenda is the public hearing on the zoning map amendment for 930 O'Bannonville Road. Is that right? Did I skip something?
Minutes.
Let's do the minutes. Thought that didn't seem right. Let's do the minutes. All right, so minutes from July 8th, 2025. Are there any changes, additions to the minutes?
I'll make a motion to approve them.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. Call the roll, please.
Mr. Goodyear,
Yes.
Mr. Ori,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Phelps, Mr. Ping,
Yes.
Mayor Bailey,
Yes.
Mr. Bateman.
Yes.
Motion carries 6-0.
Now we have the public hearing. Would someone please make the motion to open the public hearing?
I would move to open a public hearing regarding the zoning map amendment at 930 O'Bannonville Road. Second.
Thank you. Call the roll, please.
Mr. Ori,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Phelps, Mr. Ping,
Yes.
Mayor Bailey,
Yes.
Mr. Bateman,
Yes.
Mr. Goodyear.
Yes.
Motion carries 6-0.
All right, and Mr. Weinich, this does appear later in the agenda, but it seems like now would be a good time in the agenda for you to maybe explain what this is.
Absolutely. So before council is an application for a zoning map amendment that was presented to the Planning and Zoning Commission on June 17, 2025. This is a amendment request from Cardinal Land Conservancy to amend their current zoning, which is residential low density, to agricultural. If you recall, back in 2022, I believe, the Grail property was taken in by annexation from Miami Township to the city of Loveland. And at that time, it wasn't contemplated exactly what the future improvements would be made out there and how they would be made. So when the resolution was passed for that annexation, it did contemplate that the applicant, the property owner, could come back to Planning and Zoning Commission as well as council to address the current zoning. So at that time, the current zoning was what it was brought in was RLD, and at this point, they're looking to transition that to agricultural for the reasons that specifically the improvements they're looking to make on the property, as well as additional potential improvements, which would be non-commercial recreational uses, which are currently not a conditional use in the RLD, which is why they brought that application forth to transition to agricultural. It fits much in staff's opinion, it fits appropriately, which is why we're having the public hearing today. Of note, Planning and Zoning Commission did hear this, as I said, on June 17th. They did recommend unanimously to approve the recommendation to council that was brought to council back last meeting on June 24th. And that kind of sets the stage for where we're at today.
Okay.
Of note, also, sorry, Mayor, of note, the applicant is here. If you have any questions, Susan Sprigg with the Cardinal Land Conservancy is here if you would like have any questions about the application.
And Susan, you did sign up, and so you want to? Thank you.
All right. Good evening, everyone. My name is Susan Sprigg. I live at 502 Park Avenue, right over the bridge here in historic West Loveland. I'm also the Director of Operations, fairly new at Cardinal Land Conservancy. Mostly, I wanted to just take an opportunity to introduce Cardinal. We are really excited to have this site here in Loveland. Of course, Grailville has been a very special spot for people, for the community for years, to be a spot to have access to nature, connect to nature. And that is really what we anticipate there still being that opportunity. So the trail is still there on site. We're doing a few modifications. We're looking at demonstration gardens. We're looking at other community gathering spaces that folks could come and walk on the trail and use that. What did you call it? Recreational, non-commercial recreation, right?
Correct.
Our organization just generally, we're a land conservancy. So that means we work to protect and restore land across the region. Right now, we have about 11,000 acres that we've protected, either through owning them and restoring them as nature preserves, or a lot of times we'll work with landowners or farmers to protect their land for agricultural uses. So that was the work we'll continue to do. And we're excited to be here and partnered in Loveland. So certainly I'm happy to answer questions and invite all of you to come out and see the space if you have not done that.
Does anybody have any questions? I would say I was looking through the packet at what the vision is for that for your property, and it's amazing, as opposed to just property that is preserved, which is great, but really it looks like you're making lots of effort for other people, everybody, to be able to come and enjoy it.
Absolutely.
Which is really wonderful. So we appreciate your efforts in that regard.
As a resident of Loveland, I'm super excited to have Cardinal here. Even if I weren't working there, I was excited to hear they might be coming. Yeah. And it's all about the partnerships with the community. So I think we'll continue that.
All right. Well, thank you. Thank you for being here tonight.
Mm-hmm.
So, council, I mean, we can talk about it again later in the agenda. It seems like now's the better time to talk about it, maybe. So, yes, Mr. Bateman.
I just want to. Mr. Weinich talked about this a little bit with in the summary, but you know, when we were looking at this from an annexation standpoint, we really didn't know what this was going to become, and in a lot of ways, this exceeds our wildest dreams of what we could have imagined this to be. And I think it's just a lot of credit goes to Cardinal for coming in and seeing the opportunity to use the land and have it match their vision, which I think matches the community's vision for that and the tradition of the Grail. So I really couldn't be more pleased that we are in this position, but also the zoning map amendment is significant because it allows us to go even further than where we thought. When we annexed it, as Mr. Weinich mentioned, and it came in as low density, as sort of the lowest possible zoning. This takes it a step further and ensures that if it were to ever change, it would have to go through a fairly rigorous process to do that. And so I think this is an important step to sort of where two preservation-minded organizations, whether it's the folks that we represent as elected representatives and the land conservation folks at Cardinal are sort of coming together to make a statement for the long-term future of this land. So again, I just want to congratulate Cardinal and the residents of Loveland for this sort of feather in our cap of land preservation and conservation.
Thank you. Yes, Mr. Corey.
Yes, made it up to meet with Susan and several people up there at their open house that they had Saturday or Sunday. Friday. Okay. But I saw the landscape plans, and they took us through the tour and gave us a good idea of what's happening up there. And just really appreciated them opening that up to us, as well. Looking forward to the future of what this thing really is going to be. It's going to be besides connecting to it with the park, Clamart County Park District, it's going to be a nice place to visit and to go to. So, yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Any further comments? All right, can we have a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Call the roll, please.
Vice Mayor Phelps?
Yes.
Mr. Ping?
Yes.
Mayor Bailey?
Yes.
Mr. Bateman?
Yes.
Mr. Goodyear?
Yes.
Mr. Ori?
Yes.
Motion carries 7-0, or 6-0, pardon me.
So, Ms. Sprigg, we will vote on it later on in the agenda. You're welcome to stay for that, but okay. All right. All right, we have a second reading of an ordinance. I'll go ahead and read it.
Ordinance authorizing the city manager to grant an easement to Patriot Engineering and Environmental, Inc.
All right, is there any further comment on this ordinance? Yes, Mr. Payne.
Just one question. Looking at the what's planned there for this is the easement for the wells, correct? Are those wells going to be capped and removed at the end of the work that they're doing?
Yeah, so we actually called and confirmed with the environmental firm company. Once completed, the wells will be completely removed and all items sealed off.
Okay, thank you. That was my only question.
Any other questions, comments? Call the roll, please.
Mr. Phelps, I think.
Oh, yes, Mr. Phelps. Sorry, forget about you up there. Feel bad about that.
So will the easement end at the conclusion of the work that they're doing?
We had to leave the easement somewhat open-ended because there's no actual deadline. So it's hard to write it such that there is a deadline. But the way Joe worded it, it basically, in essence, it declines or dies, it's lack of better words, upon their removal and sealing, following what Councilmember Ping said, because it's just, you don't know how long. Monitoring well that was in front of City Hall for the mobile station had been in there for many, many years, because they have to, you're monitoring what's moving through the earth, and it takes a while. So Joe wrote it such that we have an out. At any point in time, the city has an out the way the easement is written.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else? All right, go ahead and call the roll, please.
Mr. Ping?
Yes.
Mayor Bailey?
Yes.
Mr. Bateman?
Yes.
Mr. Goodyear?
Yes.
Mr. Ori?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Phelps?
Yes.
Ordinance 64 is adopted by a vote of 6-0.
Mr. Kennedy?
So this is a little bit unique. In front of council, we have two resolutions and an ordinance which would create a lighting district up in Sugar Tree. Most lighting districts are created at the time the subdivision is done. It's pretty easy. You're dealing with a developer. It's some paperwork. And those lighting districts are typically set up to put period style, antique style lighting in a subdivision. And the payments are deferred to the property owners through an assessment. The city then receives those assessments. There's a 4% charge. And Mark, as you see tonight, will then annually brings them back. It gets adjusted as needed. So in the beginning, it's a larger assessment. It's paying for the cost of the Duke installing them, cost of Duke the actual purchase of them, and then it goes to just being a generation charge, and then Mark sort of makes those adjustments. Well, this is the second time we've had a situation where a subdivision on their own accord decided to run the lights through their HOA. The HOA reached out to the city and said, could you help us? We're chasing down fees. It just would be a lot cleaner if we could do it as an assessment. So we worked with them, helped them put together the petition, worked with Duke to come up with the cost. It was on them to get the 75% or more, of which they did. So that's where it is. So the two resolutions, one is what's called a resolution of necessity. The second is the city council will point that the current lighting equalization committee will oversee any disputes. We don't make one up for every one of those. None of the three members live within the subdivision. And then the third is the actual ordinance that would place the assessment on the properties. So this is, I know it's appreciated by the HOA up there, and as you saw, we got, I believe, 87% of the 21 lots.
Anybody have any questions? Bateman?
I'm just a comment. This is unique and exciting. I don't know that I've been a part of creating a lighting district before, so glad we have the opportunity to do that.
Thank you, Mr. Bateman. Anyone else have any comments?
I think he spoke for all of us.
We're just beside ourselves. Can you read the resolution, please?
Resolution of necessity by the City of Loveland to create a special lighting district within the Sugar Tree Estates subdivision.
Go ahead and call the roll, please.
Mayor Bailey?
Yes.
Mr. Bateman?
Yes.
Mr. Goodyear?
Yes.
Mr. Ori?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Phelps?
Yes.
Mr. Ping?
Yes.
Resolution 65 is adopted by a vote of 6-0.
Can you read the next resolution, please?
Resolution designating the Assessment Equalization Board for the Sugar Tree Estates Lighting District.
Thank you. Call the roll, please.
Mr. Bateman?
Yes.
Mr. Goodyear?
Yes.
Mr. Ori?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Phelps? Mr. Ping?
Yes.
Mayor Bailey?
Yes.
Resolution 66 is adopted by a vote of 6-0.
Mr. Kennedy?
So the next order of business is, if you at the last council meeting, Executive Officer Bruce Hawk gave a presentation on the community paramedicine program. There was some good back and forth between Bruce and Chief Huber about the program and the benefits of the program. And I think the summary of it, the best from what I took from going back over Bruce's slides, the primary goal of the program is to enhance the availability of the city's emergency services by creating a dedicated response unit for emergency calls for the most frequent. And I feel like the program was well received. That program would to be enacted would have been an amendment to the contract. Chief Huber and I thought our current contract with LSFD, which expires at the end of this year, was this is the final year, and we're actually in the midst of the budgeting, that we would go ahead and make this what would be the sixth amendment. There's been 5 amendments since the contract was originally adopted in 2014, went into effect in 2015. I gave you way too much detail on each of the amendments. I'm certainly not going to go into that, but that's where we're at right now. So we worked to come up with an exhibit that both sets the compensation schedule for the next 3 years and includes the 36-month paramedicine program, and went through each of those with you. The current contract would go up 5% over the next 3 years, and Chief Huber's here to regard any other questions. And I discussed a little bit in the memo regarding some of the how the funding, and basically, as lack of better words, the fiscal health. So went back over the last 5 years, and the fire funds, which is 5 different funds from the different levies over the years, and everyone knows how the levies sort of change over the course of a period of time. They are averaging an annual of right around 1.5, right about 1.5 in carryover every year. So, and on top of that, one of the things, and I think Chief Huber talked about it last year, was that we've been able to see a fairly steady increase in the EMS, the ambulance charges. That actually has gone up $238,000 since 2020. So, and the reason I note that is not only because it talks about the overall fiscal health of the fire funds, which it also the Fund 23, where the EMS charges land, for lack of better words, is where the paramedicine program would be paid from. And now I will clearly state that, the fire funds, and that's another reason we're working on the budgeting now as we monitor the USDA payments regarding the loan. But nevertheless, obviously, the funds are in good shape. So this legislation would both approve the paramedicine program for a 36-month period of time beginning August 1st. So that would be $14,525 to finish this fund. Looked at the fund right before it came in. The Fund 23 currently has a unencumbered balance of $671,000. So we certainly, even though we didn't budget that for 25, it can certainly cover that. And then that shows you how it would go to the 2028. So that is pretty much where we're at. The legislation handles both of them. Clarified with Joe that does meet the one, you know what I mean?
Subject.
One subject rule. I'm sorry. Sorry.
Do you have anything you would like to add?
No, I'd really like to thank my staff who does our budgeting for us, the front office staff. They really are very frugal in how we run our operations. The board of directors is very frugal about how we run our operations. As you can imagine, what's going on in the country and has been going on in the country for the last 3 years, the increase in cost of operations has been double digits. We see that in everything from liability insurance to all of the operations, healthcare insurance, all of those kind of things. So to be able to maintain and retain our staff, our firefighters and our paramedics, it's important that we remain competitive with our neighbors. I can tell you that recruiting and retaining firefighters and police officers today is a challenge. It's a challenge. So, and I'm very proud of the staff that they were able to work out a budget that was only 5%, because we didn't think that was going to be the case. We thought it was going to be much higher than that. And what has helped with that is the hundreds of thousands of dollars we've received in grants. So our grant writers, Chief Hawk is in charge of our grants, and I'm very proud of the work that he's done. Hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars we've been able to receive, which has been able to take basically what the city would have had to pay for equipment and other operational costs, being able to defer those through these federal grants. So that also helps with that. It's always been, and I've said this several times when we've asked for levies, the best place for the taxpayers' dollars, in our opinion, is in their pockets until we can prove to them that we need them to maintain the services. So I'm very proud of us being able to operate in such a fiscal manner, and we appreciate the support we get from the community, and we appreciate the support we get from City Council.
Thank you. Any questions or comments from City Council? No? Good to go. Well, we appreciate all your efforts, Chief, and the efforts of your staff in making the dollar go as far as possible. Are you saying that the Vice Mayor would like to say something? He's very sneaky.
Question in terms of, does it then share in this next 3-year amount? How does that work?
Yes, it'll be on the trustees' agenda at their next meeting. The increases are equal and always have to be equal. That we have to offer and maintain the same relationship with the city that we do with the township. And that has been in the contract since Frank Klain and them renegotiated the contract from
2014.
2014. So yes.
Any other questions or comments? All right. Want to read the resolution?
Resolution authorizing the city manager to execute the Sixth Amendment to the Fire and EMS service contract between the City of Loveland and the Loveland Sims Fire Department.
Call the roll, please.
Mr. Goodyear?
Yes.
Mr. Ori?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Phelps?
Yes.
Mr. Ping?
Yes.
Mayor Bailey?
Yes.
Mr. Bateman?
Yes.
Resolution 67 is adopted by a vote of 6-0.
Mr. Kennedy?
So, this resolution regards to basically getting the Nisbet Park Amphitheater sort of over the finish line. If everyone knows, the amphitheater was sort of the signature feature of the Nisbet Park master plan, and it's obviously been a pretty big focus of City Council since the plan was adopted in 21. It was part of their council goals. So to that end, the city has secured $951,000 in funding towards the estimated $1 million amphitheater project. If that recalls, City Council approved a telecommunications easement with up on Union Cemetery for $201,000. City received $250,000 in funding for the Ohio capital budget. The city also received $500,000 in the State of Ohio Land and Water Conservation Fund. That funding has been improved at the state level. Different than the Nature Works and some of the other ODNR money, the National Park Service is a federal fund. I spoke to ODNR end of last week, and she said we should be getting that approval anytime from the NPS, National Park Service. They strongly encouraged us to keep moving the project forward. So if you look back in November of 2024, City Council got us to the point where we were able to submit all the funding. They did the survey work, the schematic design on a separate contract within my spending limits. We went ahead and did a geotechnical survey because we were hearing that needed to be done. And so that brought us to the point where we're at right now, where we've got our preliminary design and we're ready to sort of get this thing designed out and bid and designed and ready to go. So when it came to the design of the amphitheater, a tremendous amount of work went into this, because I will say, first and foremost, the goal was to position it so that you could stand almost anywhere in Nisbet Park and have a view of the amphitheater. But on the other side, the goal was not to make it so large that it didn't function and it encompassed the park. And we are obviously, the goal was not to turn Nisbet Park into a concrete palace. And that was a big part of it. And so the thought was, how could we keep it about the same size and scope as the current amphitheater, but increase our ability to have a little larger scale of the design in terms of how it would. I'm so sorry, I went way too far. I apologize. But I did want to show you what we were thinking at. So when we came up with the design of the amphitheater, we wanted to make it as functional as possible. So what we were looking to do was, we asked the engineer to make the center pieces of the steps, they're 4 feet deep. And then that allows for performances actually to work their way down onto the steps. The steps on the right side are actual, obviously, for climbing purposes. And then the other theory was that the dance floor, which is actually going to be made a little bit larger, could actually handle, if the city would get an orchestra or something such as that, a large portion of that would function. So we were able to increase the size of what we can handle in terms of performances, but without basically building something that was just so massive it didn't meet the way Nisbet was. And then also what we were able to do was we were able to put in the walls in the back, while handling buffering of sound, also have there's a changing room in there. We're finding that more and more of the performers just want that place to put their stuff, where to go. I hate to mention Elvis, but he went in there, he changing outfits. And I think that will lend itself better to the type of performances that we get. And it's just something they were asking for, and it made a lot of sense. So using a sound barrier wall to be that. Also, and this was actually Mayor Bailey's idea, was the wing walls, which were not a part of the original plan. They sort of serve two purposes, because it's not uncommon for a concert that the city's having for people to just walk up. They're on the bike trail, they hear the music, they come in, they don't have a bag chair. These wing walls that are on both sides will allow the casual person to come up, but they'll also function for a place to sit in Nisbet without the dining tables and so on and so forth. I've always said, I had a friend when I went to Miami that used to brag about the Blossom Amphitheater and how beautiful it was with the trees behind the stage up in Cleveland. That's sort of the look you're going to get here. The backdrop of the Urbana Creek and those trees and the mature trees are really going to be something special. And lastly, I think for those that were involved, and I know there were some people here with the Nisbet Park Master Plan, that would go down in history as one of the unique master planning processes the city's ever gone through, because it was COVID. And there was a tremendous amount of public input on this. I don't know if you recall, the kids from Tigers Inc. came down and put together a code, that QR code that people that were coming into the park could do and take the survey on what they wanted from Nisbet. And so Chris and I thought, was that we need to stick as close to what we showed them in the plan as possible, because this is what the people wanted. And I think we really hit that pretty darn close. The steps were an add-on, but the steps add to the functionality of it. So I think that was a pretty big part of what we were trying to reach. And as you see, it really does match up. This next phase, we'll start getting into the outlets and the lighting and the sound and all of the other features, and to get the thing ready to go to bid. We're still debating whether or not this would be a separate bid for demo and grading and so on and so forth, but we're working through that. But we really need to take that next step to keep this thing in line, and that's what this would do. I just want to point out from a fiscal standpoint, but we talked about the money that the city was able to bring in. And again, this all started when council approved that telecommunications easement. The Land Water Conservation Fund required a 50% local match on the $1 million estimate. So as you can tell, that the capital budget money and the telecommunications easement, the city used that as our local share. That left the city's balance of local money as $49,000. We've met that obligation through the monies we've spent on the design to this point. So from this point forward, we'll begin to use we'll be able to tap in. So we'll be able to tap into the grant funding that we have not touched to date. Mark's got it in a special fund. The 201 and the 250 are all in special projects waiting. The 500,000 will be, once that's finally approved, we'll start to draw that down. One other item that we did is to focus as much of that 1 million on just the amphitheater. The walkway that was along the back design that would tie in to where Chris will be ending it over with the play set and the adult swing, all the way around to the restrooms and the tie-in, which would complete the entire outer ring of the walking trail. We submitted a separate grant application to ODNR for that. If that is approved, every dollar of this would be spent on the amphitheater. We won't have to put any money into the walkway, and that's pretty crucial. And so that's that's where we're at. So at this point in time, this will bring us home. If there's any construction supervision needs, and we're not anticipated, some of this will be built off site. Some of the physical structure will be built off site, but that's where we're at. So this would be the rest of the design and engineering that we need.
Thank you. Any comments or questions?
So, Mr. Kennedy, if I'm
Oh, you might bring it back up.
It's gone.
what?
You want to kill it?
No, it's okay. I didn't know what you were talking about.
Right. It's like
You're fine. Looking at the rendering here, the drawing, it looks like as the amphitheater is reconfigured, it's facing kind of sort of towards where the gazebo is.
best way to say it is if you stand there and do this, you're looking at the Little Miami Conservancy offices, about dead end towards the Bronner Garage right there. That's about what it faces, and that was pretty critical. So it faces out that, technically speaking, let's just say you have Cincinnati Philharmonic or somebody in there, and you would be able to sit in a bag chair over, around the seating areas, basically at where the play set is, and have a view of a concert. And I think that another thing to add is, and I saw that this morning, and I know I'm going off tangent, and I've made a pledge to quit doing that, but something with the train today made me realize that this city can handle traffic better because of the way the parking lot is. Because when Ott and the police were dealing with that train thing, I noticed that traffic wasn't all crazy. It's because everyone was zipping through the parking lot. And the ability for the city to have a sort of an influx and an outflux of people between that and Harrison, I think would make us better equipped for maybe to have a Philharmonic or the Navy Band or those kind of things that we could bring in every once in a while, those really special events. And I think that you could fill up most of Nisbet Park and be able to handle that. That was the goal of the design, but not make it so big that it's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, I'm sorry.
That's all right. So the reason I asked the question is, as the amphitheater sits now, it kind of directs sound towards the neighborhoods up and behind Nisbet Park, right?
Pointing to the businesses.
Right. So now it's been reconfigured to where it points out towards the park and out towards the businesses. And if I look at the design, you mentioned this, the wall behind where the performers would be, and obviously the awning above it would direct sound outward towards the park, right? So this configuration, and I'm not a sound engineer, I'm sure you're not, but it seems to me like this configuration will do a good job of making sure that sound is the direction of sound is out towards the park rather than towards any of the neighborhoods that exist behind the park.
So
Was that part of the reason for this design?
it was the direction of the sound towards the downtown business district and a proximity that would allow for special events that the city could handle a pretty good crowd.
Right. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Any other questions? Yes.
A couple things. First off, don't apologize for mentioning Elvis, Mr. Kennedy.
Sorry.
Never a bad time.
You just did again.
I had a question about it says in here it's going to do hardscapes and civil engineering and utilities. What comes to mind is that the current amphitheater is sort of like creates a basin within the basin. It's sort of like the lowest point of Nisbet Park, and the dance floor has like stormwater drainage. Is that going to be will they be able to tie into that same system with this flip?
Yeah, so talking about utilities, we are leaving open the option based on funding that we might add a small restroom in the changing room, at least some kind of utilities. So, we confirmed today that the water there's a 12-inch water main that goes there. That's all fine. That will not be impacted by the grading or anything. So there is still that sort of center bowl that's created by the wing walls that I thought would be a good idea to add on, and it really does make sense. But so the utilities are a big part of it. If you remember when we did the Harrison Street widening, part of what we did there was we were able, when the bowl in front of the Nisbet Park Amphitheater would fill up, that was filling up through backwater through the stormwater. So a check valve has been entered into that. I don't know if you noticed, but it did not fill up this year. So that was corrected. So all of the utilities, obviously you're not going to tie into the 12-inch main, but this part of the stand will determine what we need from the restrooms, where we can tie into water. Is it feasible that a sewer drain would be able to be, a sewer lateral could go in? If it needs a pump station, we're not going to be able to do it. It's all based on elevations and so on and so forth. That's the deep dive that we're going to do at this point in time, along with the right kind of lighting. You don't want all of this to be lights being hidden. They all have to be hidden. And so on and so forth. And the right amount of electric, what we're hearing from people is really don't want to be putting out speakers that most everyone brings their own. They really just need ample electric and the right kind of lighting.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you.
Any other comments or questions? All right, read the resolution, please.
Resolution authorizing the city manager to execute an agreement with KZF Design for the completion of the final design and bidding for the Nisbet Park Amphitheater.
Call the roll, please.
Mr. Ori?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Phelps?
Yes.
Mr. Ping?
Yes.
Mayor Bailey?
Yes.
Mr. Bateman?
Yes.
Mr. Goodyear?
Yes.
Resolution 68 is adopted by a vote of 6-0.
All right, we have two ordinances. These are first readings only on the zoning map amendment. I want to go ahead and read the first one.
Ordinance amending the zoning map of the City of Loveland, Ohio to change the zoning district classification of certain properties located within the RLD Low Residential Density District to the A Agricultural Zoning District.
Is there any further comment regarding this ordinance? All right, want to read the second one, please?
Ordinance stating the intention of the City of Loveland to proceed with the Sugar Tree Estates Lighting District, which shall be paid by a special assessment.
Hold on. I think you read the wrong one. What about 13B? Aren't there two that are related to this?
I think A is the memo, isn't it?
A is just the memo.
Oh, it's just the memo. That's my mistake. Okay. All right. So, yeah. You just read the lighting one, so we're good on that. Anybody have anything further on that? Perfect. Thank you so much. All right. So we'll vote on both of those at I believe it's the August 12th meeting, correct? Mm-hmm. We'll vote on them on August 12th. All right. Mr. Medler.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. More lighting ordinances. All right. So these are our 6 existing lighting districts. The initial costs have already been paid quite some time ago, so this is just the maintenance that we do. We track the monthly utility bills and put it together in a list, include the, I believe it was the 4% fee that the county takes for doing this, and we identify all the parcels for each district.
they're pretty much the same. So it just depends on usage, and if they change to LED lights, it might go down. So all of these are changing just by within cents or at the most $1. So we are requesting that this be an emergency, just because these are pretty much set in stone assessments that we're doing, and they have to be to the county auditors by the second Monday in September, which means we wouldn't be able to do it on the standard 2 reading and 30-day limit.
All right, anybody have any questions? I want to go ahead and read the first ordinance.
Ordinance assessing lighting, maintenance, and operation costs associated with the Brandywine on the Little Miami subdivision located in Warren County, Ohio, and declaring an emergency.
Call the roll, please.
Vice Mayor Phelps.
Yes.
Mr. Ping.
Yes.
Mayor Bailey.
Yes.
Mr. Bateman.
Yes.
Mr. Goodyear.
Yes.
Mr. Ori.
Yes.
Ordinance 69 is adopted by a vote of 6-0.
Read the next one, please.
Ordinance assessing lighting, maintenance, and operation costs associated with the Hermitage Point subdivision located in Warren County, Ohio, and declaring an emergency.
Call the roll.
Mr. Ping.
Yes.
Mayor Bailey.
Yes.
Mr. Bateman.
Yes.
Mr. Goodyear.
Yes.
Mr. Ori.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Phelps.
Yes.
Ordinance 70 is adopted by a vote of 6-0.
Next ordinance, please.
Ordinance assessing lighting, maintenance, and operation costs associated with the sanctuary at Miami Trails subdivision located in Claremont County, Ohio, and declaring an emergency.
Call the roll.
Mayor Bailey.
Yes.
Mr. Bateman.
Yes.
Mr. Goodyear.
Yes.
Mr. Ori.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Phelps. Mr. Ping.
Yes.
Ordinance 71 is adopted by a vote of 6-0.
Read the next ordinance, please.
Ordinance assessing lighting, maintenance, and operation costs associated with the White Pillars Phase 1 subdivision located in Claremont County, Ohio, and declaring an emergency.
Call the roll.
Mr. Bateman.
Yes.
Mr. Goodyear.
Yes.
Mr. Ori.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Phelps.
Yes.
Mr. Ping.
Yes.
Mayor Bailey.
Yes.
Ordinance 72 is adopted by a vote of 6-0.
Next ordinance.
Ordinance assessing lighting, maintenance, and operation costs associated with the White Pillars Phase 2B subdivision in Claremont County, Ohio, and declaring an emergency.
Call the roll, please.
Mr. Goodyear.
Yes.
Mr. Ori.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Phelps.
Yes.
Mr. Ping.
Yes.
Mayor Bailey.
Yes.
Mr. Bateman.
Yes.
Ordinance 73 is adopted by a vote of 6-0.
Last ordinance.
Ordinance assessing lighting, maintenance, and operation costs associated with the White Pillars Phase 3 subdivision located in Claremont County, Ohio, and declaring an emergency.
Call the roll, please.
Mr. Ori.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Phelps.
Yes.
Mr. Ping.
Yes.
Mayor Bailey.
Yes.
Mr. Bateman.
Yes.
Mr. Goodyear.
Yes.
Ordinance 74 is adopted by a vote of 6-0.
Thank you. Mr. Medler.
Thank you, Mayor. So we're already halfway done with 2025. We're moving along pretty quickly. We have the 6-month financial report. The biggest number we look at is income tax. We had, as you might recall, we had a very large January driven by a lot of business tax revenue that came in. Our increases have continued. We've finished 5 out of 6 months with an increase over the prior year. So we're feeling pretty good on our income tax levels, getting closer and closer to that $7 million a year threshold, which just a few years ago was not even something we were even thinking about. 6 was wonderful back then, but now it's moving along, looking pretty strong. So we're again keeping an eye on that, but we're pretty hopeful. So there's a lot going on. Obviously, the fire station expenses and revenues are coming in. Mr. Weinich and myself are doing a good job kind of tag teaming that, where we get paid and then we get paid. So USDA has done a good job of turning around our payments. So we've been able to float that money and not have any delays on getting the vendor paid, obviously, and keeping the work going, which is what we appreciate. Things are also going well. Cherokee Water Main project, getting grant revenue in from the feds. So that's going pretty well. So we're seeing a lot of expenses, but on the good side, we're having a lot of revenues to cancel that out. So we want to keep that up and not just have expenses without revenues. Investments, something that we're keeping an eye on all the time, although we have finished the year with 1% less than what we've been getting in past years. So Star Ohio, as you might recall, is one of our main investment things that we do. In June of 24, we were getting 5.44%. June 25 is down to 4.45. So that's affecting the revenue that we're getting from our investments. But the good news is it has been holding very steady there at about 4.5%. So it's not continuing a large drop off. So we don't plan on going back to the 2020 era where we had rates that started with a 0 before the decimal point. That's not so good. So as long as we can keep it with a 4, I think we're in good shape there. So those are the main points that we've got. Again, fire funds are coming in with the fire station, so we're keeping an eye on that. Enterprise funds, continuing to watch that with our WMR fees are continuing to be strong.
Thank you. Does anyone have any comments or questions? All right, I think we need a motion to approve the second quarter 2025 financial update.
Move to approve the second quarter 2025 financial.
Thank you, Mr. Bateman. Is there a second?
Second.
Call the roll, please.
Vice Mayor Phelps, Mr. Ping,
Yes.
Mayor Bailey,
Yes.
Mr. Bateman,
Yes.
Mr. Goodyear,
Yes.
Mr. Ori.
Yes.
Motion carries 6-0.
All right, the quarterly income tax update is on as another matter. Is there more you want to add on that?
I think we covered it. Again, we're keeping an eye on things, but we're very encouraged by what we've received so far this year.
Okay. Any comments or questions on that report? All right. We do have a few announcements. The Tri-Health Mobile Mammography Unit will be downtown on Monday, July 28th from 8:30 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. in the David B. Kennedy parking lot. Visit the city's website to schedule an appointment. Join us for a movie in the park on Saturday, August 2nd at 9 p.m., and that will be in Phillips Park. And the movie is Princess Bride. Admission is free. Bring your own blankets and lawn chairs. The city's Arts Commission, in partnership with the Cincinnati Shakespeare Company, will present a Midsummer Night's Dream on Friday, August 15th at 7 p.m. in Nisbet Park. That also is a free outdoor performance open to all ages. Also, if you haven't looked at Loveland Stage Company and got tickets for their Loveland Shorts Festival, that's coming up the first weekend in August as well. So that is a very worthwhile event if you can catch any of that. Anybody else have anything else to report? All right, I think we do have a executive session on the agenda. Would someone please make the motion?
I'll move that we go into executive session under Ohio Revised Code Section 121.22G to consider the purchase of property.
Is there a second? Call the roll, please.
Mr. Ping,
Yes.
Mayor Bailey,
Yes.
Mr. Bateman,
Yes.
Mr. Goodyear,
Yes.
Mr. Ori,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Phelps. Motion carries 6-0. Who was that?
Do it again.
That was me.
That was you?
Second. Somebody second.
No, I need
Second.
the first. I need the first one on the mic.
Yeah, no, it's got to go on.
He was joking, wasn't he? Weren't you?
I think the mayor's in charge of these proceedings.
What the hell? I think screwed up tonight, so
Allegedly.
I think
True,
somebody's
yeah.
taking over.
The
And if
parliamentarian.
you'd
All
like,
right.
if you'd like to
Do
talk,
we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Call the roll, please.
Right. Mayor Bailey.
Yes.
Mr. Bateman.
Yes.
Goodyear.
Yes.
Mr. Ori.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Phelps.
No, we should note for the record the vice mayor did not return
Okay.
after executive
Mr.
session.
Ping.
Yes.
Yes. Motion carries 5-0.
Okay.
That was
Great.
That was a pause for
A dramatic pause.
Struggle.
Dramatic.
Struggle is real.
Dramatic pause.